Hey guys, this is week 6 of my vlog. I'm in San Jose today at my workplace, which is called Spaces. So this week was interesting. Met quite a few people and went to quite a few interesting places. So let's meet on the other side of the intro. This week was interesting. Monday was regular stuff. Regular stuff means doing my standard stuff, working on the cloud, sort of narratives, building some IP around that, and playing with Kubernetes, Istio. I'm doing that whenever I get the free time. I'm trying to set up an environment in Google Cloud because Kubernetes native to them, they started that project, and I want to see how easy it is to do Kubernetes in Google Cloud or at Google Cloud. So that Monday was heads down doing some work. On Tuesday, Rob Hirschfeld was here. He is CEO and founder of RackN, and we grabbed dinner in Mountain View downtown. It was a great talk over dinner. We talked about infrastructure as code, and we talked about infrastructure in your data center, how the cloud can be brought up in your data center. We talked about the history from Rackspace. He used to be at Dell, and when I was at Rackspace, when we open sourced OpenStack, and then what happened, we sort of compared notes and what went wrong and what role open source plays, and all these new projects in open source, Kubernetes, Istio, and many more. And we talked about different players, what are they doing, Red Hat versus other players. So yeah, it's always interesting to talk to people who have been in this industry for a while, because they know the context, they know the history, and they know the patterns, and it's many times we can see from those patterns what's going to happen. Like, I can talk about open source for the next 50 minutes or 2 hours. I don't want to do that, by the way, so I'll keep it short. So that dinner was fun. I will do some deep dive into RackN at some point. I don't know when, hopefully soon. I'm intrigued by the way Rob described what they're building, and it's fascinating what they're doing. But again, you have to touch and feel it and then play with it before you can say that with sort of weight that yes, that's good stuff, right? So exactly. So on Thursday, I went to Incorta Summit. Incorta is a company which is solving the data curation problem. So data curation is key for doing data science. Without data, there's no data science. And also, it's key to doing real-time or near real-time analytics. And a lot of companies are trying to do that. And everybody knows that the difference between companies who are making a lot of more money quickly with margins and all that stuff, and the ones who are not, is the data and the speed at which they can analyze the data and throw at you and then give you recommendations or whatever they're doing. They are in e-commerce, they are in healthcare, so whatever field they are in, whatever vertical they are in, if they can crunch that data quickly and come up with the insights from that data, it's like gold mine for them, right? So time is of essence, and Incorta solves that problem. Actually, they do a lot of stuff in memory and all that stuff. They have some secret sauce. The name to fame is that you don't have to do data modeling to do data curation or data analytics. So that's kind of sounds too good to be true, but again, the magic is under the hood. I will be diving deep into that in coming weeks and months. Actually, I'm talking to them to dig deeper into it and put their messaging out, hopefully soon. So that Incorta event was good. Thanks Ashim for making that intro. I was there, did a few tweets, and met some great people. I met Osama, their CEO. I met their VP of product. I met their CMO. I met their salespeople. I met a lot of people. So here's some B-roll from that event. Interesting stuff. And by the way, in this field, there are so many other startups which are still not public. Snowflake is one. Cohesity is one. Actually, I was watching Bloomberg TV today earlier. Cohesity was being mentioned as data curation sort of story, and then they were talking about that they have multi-million-dollar contracts with big companies and all that stuff. Yeah, this sector is hot. Data, anybody doing anything with data, those startups are doing good. And of course, you have to have good product and a good team. By the way, on the team side, I loved meeting Incorta folks. On the product side and all that, I will dig deeper into that soon. So yeah, and Incorta event was good because there were some heavy hitters. Of course, when these kind of events happen, the investors, they put weight behind these events. It was well organized. Microsoft has invested money in them. Google Venture has invested money in them, and yeah, they are in the growth phase. So they are certainly in the growth phase and a good story. So check them out. On Wednesday, I went to an event very close to me, like 2 miles. Citrix office in the Bay Area. They are not headquartered here, but they have a big presence here. Their office is about 2 miles from where I sit. So ManbinderPalSingh, who works at Citrix, and I happened to interact with him over the Twitter, he said, I'm coming to Bay Area. So what are you doing? So he said, like, we're doing 2-day sort of hackathon kind of stuff. Let's see if we can meet. And then I happened to see a tweet from Des. I replied that. I said, I'm going there to meet somebody, and their VP of product replied back. He said, come on over. I went there. I did shoot some video there, B-roll. I wanted to know what they're doing, and at a high level, I got the gist of it. They are trying to help sort of low-code, no-code sort of application development through their platform, and the people seem to be engaged. There are a lot of partners there, and then some Citrix folks, all of course, were there too, but a lot of partners were visiting and then doing a lot of development during these 2 days. I just went there for an hour, so from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday. So that was fun to watch. I happened to meet their VP of Products, Steve Wilson, Virtual Steve on Twitter. Steve, nice to meet you. Yeah, you're local. I'm local. Let's chat sometime and see what you're doing. I also met Sando, who is their sort of storyteller, like their social media / evangelist, if you will. He was there doing live shows with some of the partners, and he wanted me to talk on camera for a few minutes, and just sat down for 3 minutes or something like that. We recorded like 3 minutes short snippet because I was not prepared to talk about it much because I was not there for a whole day, if you will. So I gave my perspective on what is the role of practitioners in pushing a technology, or what vendors can do to enable practitioners to start consuming their technologies. I've been preaching this sort of mantra for the last, I don't know, 6 months or so, that to outcompete your competitors, you have to out-educate the market. You have to put a lot of education out there. Hackathons, small tutorial videos, be out there, leverage YouTube, leverage live video, leverage live video is very important, I think, because you get the feedback right then and there when you're talking, and then you're responding to people who are listening to you, and those people who are listening to you, they are passionate about what you do, and then they have vested interest in you, and they will give you very candid feedback, which is very good for your product. Actually, we always talk about the feedback loops, how important they are for the product and services you're building. You have to get those feedback loops like turned into well-oiled machine, and live video does that. And there's so many other venues you can put your message out there. You want to have an army of promoters out there, and practitioners can be those people. Yeah, so you need to have a good storytelling team in your company to push your messaging out there. You can have the greatest technology out there, but if people don't know about it, they don't know about it, right? So they can't put their hands on it. And by the time somebody else comes from behind and sells them stuff, stories sell. Keep in mind. And on Friday was pretty packed in the morning. I recorded a podcast with Larry, Laurianne, and Jason. That was a good discussion. We stayed kind of high level for a reason, because we were trying to focus on the business side of the cloud. And I think we need to do another podcast sometime in the future to talk about the technology side of the cloud. It was good talk all around. We talked about the economics of the cloud and the use cases and where it's headed, and we talked about a lot of different things. Check out that podcast. Larry has done a good job, and he actually produced a very good quality podcast. I don't think I can do that because I don't have tools, I guess. Hey Larry, I want to learn from you. How do you do that? I'll put the link in this YouTube video. Check it out. So Friday morning, that was the first thing, was the podcast with Larry, and the second thing after that was a quick meeting with Jen from IDG. She is one of the persons who runs IDG Tech Talk, on Twitter. You guys see that handle all the time. It was great talking to Jen. So that was Friday. On the fun side, on the weekend, I rode Harley Davidson. Yes, one of our family members bought it, brought it home, rode it. I miss motorcycles. Motorcycle is fun. So there's some B-roll of that Harley. And that was my week, guys. Keep it real and stay humble. I will see you next week.